This trifold is an example of a minimum standard of quality. And the reason I'm presenting this as my podcast is because I need something that shows the pro or for side for implementing national standards of quality. First of all, we have to look at child education as an investment. As you see here in the first fold, it is our duty as parents and caregivers to get our youth into early childhood education. Early childhood programs should be easily attained by all. Now, the reason this is pro standard quality is because we know that these programs are not available to everyone in every, economic status, not in every area of our country. Therefore, these opportunities are not being provided equally. If we do provide these things equally, we bridge the gap between low-income aid and middle-class assistance. We know that there's a deficiency there, but implementing an overall span of national standards of quality will take this gap completely out of the picture. Now, it is important to also know that children can be behind the academic power curve before the age of 3, which is why there's such an emphasis on early childhood education. Not saying it's more important than elementary education, but it does provide a fundamental stepping stone. Now, we have to also look at this investment as needing a thorough process in order to pay off later. The process, especially in regards to relationships between parents and teachers, are one, educating the parents as to how important early childhood education is, what resources are out there, and how they can get to them. The second step is gaining qualified teachers. We need teachers that want to teach the future of our country, not simply just do a job. Step 3, creating cooperative relationships between parents and teachers. We have to have parents and teachers that both equally want involvement to foster their children's education. Now, the grand payoff here is by enriching the early years, we will promote the productivity of schools and give teachers better quality students. Now, what this means isn't that when they go into preschool that they'll be these great quality students, not necessarily. But what it does mean is if we get these children into the school system early enough, emphasize age 3, then when they go into elementary school, they move on to intermediate, and they move on to high school and college. These new teachers, these new levels of education are gaining a quality student. Improving the schools will in turn improve the quality of the workforce. Overall, that's the payoff. Now, if we look here, the quality of the workforce does improve, and this is why a key ingredient of economic growth is the quality of the workforce and public investments in human capital. Now, we can assume that public investments in human capital does not always mean monetary. We are investing our children into the school system. We invest, our taxpayer monies and our efforts into the school system itself. Now, this in return renders the quality of our workforce. Also, large-scale efforts can succeed if they are marketed based on and incorporate 4 key features: focusing on at-risk children, encouraging parental involvement, producing measurable outcomes, and establish long-term commitments. Now, nowhere in here does it say to incorporate these 4 key features only in certain areas, only for certain children, or only because of certain, we'll say, federal funding or opportunity. So what this emphasizes again is that the parent-teacher cooperation and relationship is a fundamental standard that is not a nationalized presence. Not yet, because we have not nationalized our quality of standards. So if we do this, by doing this, we invest in our schools and our children. We go through the thorough process of educating everyone involved. And in return, we get the grand payoff of an improved society.